Again, thank you all for coming. Thank you, students, and we have several cooperating teachers here today. So thank you very much for being here. Hope you'll learn a lot. I know I have as we try to put this presentation together. So again, it's a learning process for all of us. Our food is by Geppetto's today. Just let you know. Go visit Geppetto's. They're great people. So, and they did donate all of this to us today. All right. The first thing is your student-teacher responsibilities. Employment is discouraged. And what we mean by that is if you have a part-time job or a full-time job, do your best to try to give that up or minimize your hours because student teaching takes a lot of work and a lot out of you. You're going to be exhausted every evening when you go home. So try to take that in mind. We understand that. Next, comply with the calendar policies, procedures of the school and where you're assigned. Remember that you have to start back January the 2nd, just like the public schools. So I'll be sending out an email. If you need early admission into your dorm, I'll send that email out so that you can request, you can let me know and then I'll request it for you. So please let me know about that. Another thing on with this, the calendar, you'll need to make sure you're aware of your school's inclement weather policies because sometimes if it's 2-hour delay, they expect the teachers to be there. Most of them say be safe, and so they understand if it's 2-hour delay, you come in 2-hour delay. But you need to know that, and you need to know how your school notifies. Some schools have a One Call Now or whatever program it's called, and they can put you on the telephone list so that if there is bad weather, you'll be called that morning, and that way you'll know. That's the best way. But if not, you can check either your school's website, the school system website, or you can go to WSOC TV, WBTV. You watch it on the, I always do everything. I always check it on the computer and watch it on TV, and then sometimes get confused because sometimes they're not always right. But do your best to check all of that.
It's usually on Facebook and Twitter pretty fast, too, if you follow your school district.
Good. All right, next thing, Praxis 2 scores. Before, your Praxis scores must be filed before you can get your licensure and before you begin the licensure process. That being said, I looked up today the times when Praxis 2 are going to be offered for January and February. It starts January 13th and it basically runs straight through February the 15th. Then they do not have any Praxis test administrations of Praxis 2 during March. So don't plan to wait that long because the next one's not until April again, and that's too late. So you need to be planning. There are some December ones if you want to go ahead and get it out of the way, but mainly you're looking at January and February. If you go online, you'll find out all the ones you need to and how to sign up for. It's pretty easy online to do that. And the testing sites are either in Boone, there's 2 places in Charlotte, or you can go to Asheville. So if one of them's already booked that you want, then you can change different locations. Yes.
And I just want to point out, since everybody's all here together, I have several Praxis 2 study manuals that Dean Fisher donated to us.
Oh, great.
So anybody who wants to see those, just come see me.
Good. And Dr. Painter, you've put some on hold in the library for them too, haven't you? Okay. So those study guides are out there for you. And I suggest you take these of them. All right, the next one is apply for graduation by the deadline. So we weren't sure when the deadline was. So we looked online today, and it says that you may apply for graduation as early as 1 year before. So if you have not applied, go ahead and do it. So,
yeah.
Do any of y'all know that? Yes.
If we've got our graduation on it back, does that mean we've applied? That might be our.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I believe it is. Because the title of your, it's actually not called an audit, it's called your graduation application. So,
Yeah, we went online and found graduation application. That's where we found out that you can do it up to a year ahead of time. So if you haven't already done that, do so. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to add that you're going to start getting emails in the spring about graduation and about ordering things and about what you need to do for the registrar. And so if you don't check your LR email, you're not going to get those. So it's really important that you keep checking that, and it's going to be distracting because you're at the school every day and you're not going to be thinking about that. But that's the typical way that the university communicates that information. So it's real important that you check so that you don't miss an important message that comes from the Office of Academic Affairs or from the registrar's office.
And I'll be sending you more forms and things that you need to fill out for us as well as you finish up. So please check, be sure to keep checking that. It's a great suggestion. And then background checks must remain current. I think everybody's okay now through January, but there are several of you that need it again in January. So be looking for those emails from me. I'll let you know at least a month ahead of time and then remind you. So those have to stay current. All right, next one. Daily attendance is expected until the last day of LR class. So you will be at your school from January the 2nd until May the 7th. I've already looked. The last day of class is May the 7th.
I thought it was 15 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is, what's your?
Yeah, so this is an issue that came up last
Okay.
year, Dr. Painter. I don't know that we actually resolved this. Do you remember a discussion about this? The 15 weeks is the student teaching requirement, but then there's also this, it's listed somewhere that they're expected to be there until the
Right.
last day of class.
You can visit other school sites. If you have job interviews, you can go for job interviews. What we are trying to avoid is people that come back and just hang around the university when other people are trying to get ready for exams or trying to do the things they need to do. If you have a compelling reason why you need to be away from your school site, then I think you can make that appeal to Ms. Bandy, about why you don't need to be there after your 15 weeks are over. If you want to substitute teach, this is the ideal time for you to make some money and substitute teach after you finish your 15 weeks and you're getting ready to, begin your professional career. So I think that the rule is that you're at that school site through the last day of classes. However, after you finish your 15 weeks, there's some latitude in terms of, where you need to be. You just need to let us know so we know where you are and your teacher knows where you are.
So what is that last day of the 15 weeks?
I think I looked. It's about May 3rd or something. Did you?
We did, I think we counted it out, wasn't it, like that week spring break started?
Yeah.
Was our
Yeah,
last
I just
week.
counted it and I'm like,
What you need to count is 75 days. You can't really count whole weeks because you've got holidays in there and that sort of thing. So you need to count 75 days. It's going to stretch it out a little bit further than 15 days.
Okay. But the official last day of LR is May 7th. And then you'll work with your supervisor and your cooperating teacher about the dates and all of that. And then, those last few days, we really would like for you to observe some other classrooms, observe some other schools, and get everything that you can get out of it. Okay? Remember that there's your 15 weeks. At least 5 of those must be continuous full weeks responsibility as a teacher. So you have to take over everything for at least 5 weeks. And there will be, there will be a calendar helping you determine that. Elementary folks, you will go in and school starts back on a Thursday, so that makes the weeks also hard to figure out. But plan on the first week just observing, and then the second week you take over one class. Third week you take over another class. Fourth week you take over another. The 5th week, make sure by the 5th week